Starting out wrong when building can throw off the entire building process. The first thing you should do is pick a shape. No matter how good you build, a boring shape will never look like a 10 out of 10 would build again house or other thingy. It doesn't matter if you only build a framework, sketch in real life, or use some red wool. Think about the rough shape. The easiest way to do this is to start with some sort of square and then just add more shapes connected to it. Something like this. I highly suggest watching this video all the way through before starting yourself. I've tried to put everything in a logical order, but you'll see that some tips will be handy to know at any stage. And let's go up 3 blocks so I can fit a door. Whoa, 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 man, what are you doing? I'm adding height to my build. Height? You call that height? You've gone up 3 blocks. Hey dude, I'm trying, okay? Have you listened to anything I've taught you? You don't have to be so rude about it. Calm down guys, jeez. Let's continue the video, alright? Who asked you anything? You think you can just come in here and boss us around? Yeah, I'm kind of with him on this one, man. Has anyone seen my dog? I get it. 3 blocks is the minimum height for a house. You can fit a door and you can stand in it, but any more than that? No, you can't even jump. Then you would probably say, okay, let's do 4 then. Seems logical. Wrong. Yes, it's way better than only 3 blocks. But with 4, you're still restricted in the amount of details you can put inside and outside. There are a limited number of wall designs you can fit on a 4-block high wall. So to keep your build from looking generic, I will always suggest to go to a minimum of 5 blocks up. And also, adding in variations to the heights of different segments makes it less of a brutalist block tower. But to be honest, all of this mostly goes for houses with multiple stories. If you have a 1-story house, it is more about the shape of the roof in combination with the height of your wall. Speaking of roofs, picking the wrong roof can really make the whole build feel off. And most of the time, it's because a roof is too big compared to the rest of the build. People just plop down a big roof that is the size of the whole build. But roofs come in many shapes and sizes. Instead of going for a simple pointed roof, take a look at all of these inspirations. Personally, I like to add these little slanted roofs on smaller sections of a base. It is either good for breaking up the pointed shape of a normal roof, or it gives me some space to decorate the wall above it. I want to challenge you. For your next build, try a roof you have never built before. Or better yet, combine multiple types of different roofs. We are getting somewhere. The general shape is good, but it all sorts of blends together. And that is the reason why picking a good block palette is crucial. There's actually a pretty good website for this. Blockpalette.com shows you many different types of palettes you can use. Please sponsor me, someone. Looking through the website, I found one that consists of stripped dark oak logs, oak planks, spruce planks, stone bricks, green terracotta and barrels. Let's throw some of these blocks in. At first, I struggled a bit to find out which colors I wanted where. But that's okay. We like figuring stuff out while we go. It looked a little bit too uniform with everything green at the bottom, so I decided to make this square wood and stone, like the other top sections. It breaks up the pattern nicely. I thought the tower could also use a little bit of green, but that will be added with the details. So to remind myself, I hung up a green banner. A smart little trick you can use yourself. And won't you look at that? Details! Of course, everyone knows to put a little something on your walls. But there is a lot more you can do than just throwing in some glass panes. Since spruce is the detailing block in this build, I'll just grab the slabs, stairs, fences, fence gates, trapdoors and shelves. To go with the green walls, I want a little bit of greenery added in the parts where it's missing. These potted plants add just that. And also gives you a nice view from the inside. Now let me put you on some real quick. Walls. Walls are flat. Take wall, go 1 block back. Makes build more dynamic. Get more space for details. We'll do it to the green walls in this build. But be careful, your house has to be a certain size for this to properly work. Very small builds just simply don't have the room for this to look good. This house is like on the edge of being too small, but with some details, it'll work. I was struggling for a second on what to add to this little wall, but then I remember the hanging signs. I really gotta use them more often. Not that you can really read this sign from a distance, but just shh, okay? Just shh. And voila! Details. You can see I really stuck to tip number 4. I stuck to a color palette so that it feels connected. Before adding in details on the tower, you could see some stone bricks, so I brought them back in this overhang. Although you can't really enjoy the view from the inside just yet. Unless you make your build just as something to look at from the outside, you need to think about what is going on the inside. And this house is very cramped on the inside. A good example of livability would be the bottom section of the tower. The passage is narrow and at an angle. It will always be kind of awkward to fit through. So why don't we just make it that you can only access it through the second floor? We have plenty of space over there. Now you shouldn't put anything there that you would need often. For example, your food storage. That is bad livability. Most of your time in Minecraft is spent outside. So stuff you need to use a lot of, your bed, crafting table, common storage, those things should be within hand's reach of your main entrance. But an anvil? You don't need to use an anvil daily. Put it a little deeper in your base, so every now and then you need to walk through your creation and you can enjoy what you have built. All of this comes together in tip number 7. Make it comfy. You want to walk through your build and feel warm. Clutter it, use your favorite colors, get a dog, get a fireplace. Anything to help you make it feel like home. What I always love to do is to keep trinkets from my adventures. Maybe some armor from a dungeon chest, a bookshelf you stole from a village far away, or some decorated pots from that time you went to search for a new biome. The main thing to avoid in this step is to leave rooms too empty or too big. Empty rooms feel lifeless, and big rooms feel grand and imposing, which is good if you want to give off that vibe, of course. But when going for a house, I feel like nice and cozy is the better option. A little bonus tip for you all: decorating is not something that is limited to the inside. You can decorate the outside too. I've already done it with some piles of barrels, but there is a lot you can do. Some of my favorite little build hacks are shown in this video right here. I'll put the link in the description. Alright, these last 3 tips are going to change how you build forever. So try to keep these things in mind. Do you see these blocks on the floor? Can you tell me which blocks these are? I'll give you a few seconds to type it in the comments. Smithing tables. A block that was not designed to be in the floor, but the top texture looks so good. Why wouldn't we use it? There are loads of blocks in this game that are meant to be something, but you can use everything however you want. Once you start using blocks for the color they are, a lot of possibilities open up. It's something I'm still learning myself, but don't overdo it. The cardinal sin of building right now is something called block vomit. It's when you overdo the texturing by basically spamming different blocks to make it feel like a hard and complicated build. Most people nowadays hate this style, but I gotta say, I secretly kind of like it sometimes. Let me know if you would want to see a video where I intentionally try to build in a block vomit style. It might be fun to try sometime. Alright, you improved your house, but bro, look at where you build it. The location matters. This house fits in almost every biome. So to give you an example, I kind of had to exaggerate a bit. It's not always just about picking the right spot. Every location can be great if you know how to handle it. Coming back to the color palette, if you use blocks and colors that can be found wherever you live, it already feels much more incorporated into your world. Look at the difference between these two, and I only switched out some blocks. And I'm not saying this house looks better than the one we had before, because it probably doesn't, but it feels much more included in the environment. Thanks for watching all the way through the end. Like and subscribe if you enjoyed. Bye!